What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. Good morning, happy Sunday. Welcome to your transfer view, man. And again, a lot to get into. It's like every single day there's some sort of significant news, but it's not always transfers. It's just also what's going on at the club. There's a little bit on transfers and the future of the next manager, etc., etc. With Pochettino still being linked to Manchester United. Manchester United very much wanting him. I'll talk a little bit about that. But the big one is the players are speaking out. The players are hitting back. Fred started it off. A couple of days ago, and we spoke about that, which was really uncharacteristic for him. Marcus Rashford come out with a big statement. We'll talk about that. And then Harry Maguire does an actual, it's not even like he's just jumped on social media to just quickly put something out. It's done through the club. Which shows me just how bad it is. This hood's annoying me. Just how bad it is that we need to come out and clarify the situation and just how strongly they want to change what's going on. Smash a like on the video, as you guys always do. What you lot saying, let me know where you're watching from and how you're feeling about it all. Let's go through some of the comments here. Jungle says Ralph Rangnick has got us way more sturdy in terms of leaking goals, left, right, and centre. He did talk about that in his press conference, saying we're not conceding to shed loads of goals like we were before. You know, got 4 off Watford, 4 off Leicester, 5 off Liverpool, couple off City, which should have been more. Couple off Atlanta, which could have been more as well. So yeah, it's true. We have stopped conceding goals. And Josh Lewis says, flex it a little bit behind you at the game. Your face when you turn around after the Wolves game says it all. Hope you're better on Monday. Big up, Josh Lewis. If you sit in my bit, come say hello, man. Come say hello on the next show. Not on the next show, on the next game. Come say hello tomorrow. Big up Flex watching from Norway. Ronald Peter says watching from China. And Rotem says Manchester divided FC. Yeah, exactly. So let's get into a little bit about what Harry Maguire said. Let's just get straight into the meat of this. I've pulled up all the quotes. There's a lot. I'm not going to read every single one, but I'm going to pick out some of the ones that probably give you the most indication as to what's really going on. Here we go. He said, a lot of criticism is justified and we all have to take responsibility. Myself as captain, as much as anyone, if not more, I'm here for the fight and I know my teammates are. He also said, I've seen a lot of criticism and a lot of it is absolutely correct. But for me, with this team, it shouldn't need criticism to motivate players. True. He also says, there's a bit, he says, if players of this quality are not motivated to play for this club, when they pull on the shirt, then there is something wrong. We are all angry and we want to do our best, which has probably come across on the pitch at times as well. And some of the more telling ones was, we have big players. Sorry, it's when he said that he grew up watching Rio and Vidic. And there you go, about Rangnick as well. He says, Rangnick has made an impact. We win together, we lose together. The manager is there to set us up tactically, which we absolutely take on board. We listen to him and his staff. It's up to us. Once the game starts. Here it is. I came here to win titles. I could have signed elsewhere, but I wanted to be at Man United and help get them back to winning ways that the club had in the Sir Alex era. It will come if we all stay together. And he grew up. I grew up idolizing the likes of Wayne Rooney, Rio, and Vidic, and I want to repeat what they achieved. I'm privileged to be captain, and I've got a responsibility to lead the players and turn things around. So look, you get the gist. Let me go back onto here. You get the gist of what's been going on there with his comments. And look, of course, don't get me wrong, he's saying the right things. We've seen these players say the right things many, many times before. That's what happens. They say the right things in the moment, but we don't see it on the pitch. But what I find interesting or a bit nuts is that it's always like they come in waves. So one person will speak out, then the next, and then the club will kind of jump on, and it just looks so pre-planned. It looks so pre-planned. Like to do it on the club website, it almost gives an era of we're desperate to turn this around. We're desperate to change the narrative, which I understand. The narrative's bad, but nothing they say can undo it. I almost think it's that cliche of you're better off saying nothing. You're better off saying nothing, and then beating Villa with ease tomorrow night. That's the best form of remedy. That's the best form of remedy. When you talk too much, it becomes not lost in translation, but when it's not backed up by what's going on the pitch, you start to just clock out a little bit. Like, I don't like seeing players apologise for making mistakes. I don't like seeing players come out and say, oh, we want to do better. And I know that. I know that you want to do better. I'm interested in what's on the pitch. And like Sahara says there, action speaks louder than words. See you on Monday. Flex on Sky Sports News the other day said Craig Smith, big up yourself. Steph Jenkins says, good morning, Flex, and the free seats. Smash the like button, people. Football is the game. Who do you think should be our main priority, as this team still has room for improvement? It's not all over till the fat lady sings, says football is the game. 100%, we're still in shout for top 4. I don't think we should be saying we're not going to get top 4, and it's definitely not going to happen, because obviously mathematically that's not true. You still got to keep some hope. But the consensus is the way that we're playing, if we continue to play in this vein, we will be out of the top 4 race before you know it. If it continues like this, especially Paul Pogba's out for another 5 to 6 weeks, probably, it enhances the need for a midfielder. And when you say what does this team's priority should be a midfielder. It always has been. Well, at least the captain stepped up and spoke out, says Jungle Soldier. And James Nixon says, why did Maguire come out after Fred and Rashford did? As captain, he should be first out, not 48 hours later. And this is what I mean about why it's weird. It's almost like a couple of players took it upon themselves. And then the club does like an actual proper sit down with Harry Maguire to kind of steady the ship. It's kind of weird. Salted Caramel says, as a United fan, I just can't trust this. No amount of story can make me believe he is a leader. Maguire should have lost his captaincy the day he threw the armband away. Enough is enough. Yeah, when did he do that? Watford, didn't it? When he got sent off. Kind of just threw it on the floor flippantly. I was disgusted when he done that. And I think that's really what it comes down to. For me personally, man, I don't know. I just feel like Harry Maguire, if he's gonna be a success at Man United, I think it should be in the capacity of just being a normal squad player and focusing on his game. I just don't see the captaincy tendencies in him. I just don't see it. I don't see the personality. I don't see that grit. I certainly don't see it in level of performances, but obviously that's across the team right now. I'm not going to label that at him. But if I'm talking about him as Manchester United captain, which you do get extra scrutiny, which he is talking about, he's been way short of the level. Even when he's played well, he's just been okay. He's just been doing his job, nothing over and above. And we just got a player, I think, who just isn't that. He just isn't what he's packaged up to be. It just isn't it. And Smith 89123 says, wasn't even this bad and toxic, or bad and toxic under Jose. Well, it's weird, isn't it? Because it does kind of feel worse. It does kind of feel worse with where we're at, and the leaks coming out constantly, the players being upset, the discontent coming in. It does feel like that. I have to say, it does feel a little bit worse. And actually, we won something under Oli. And Blue Abadi, I haven't seen you for a hot minute, so big up yourself. Comes with a super chat, says, I thought Ornstein said Ten Hag was the leading candidate to get the job. And he did say that. And this is what I mean. Dabadai, it's you're getting conflicting reports. There are reports, which I'll get onto a little bit later in the show, about Pochettino and Man United really waiting for him and have wanted him and liked him and admired him for ages. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. Another statement that was put out, this was by Marcus Rashford, and it reads like this. He said, I read something earlier, this was yesterday, I read something earlier that said I'd been quiet on here, but what can I say that will make this better, other than showing you all on the pitch? See, just pause there, yeah? This is what I actually agree with, which is kind of what I was saying about the Maguire situation. What can he say more? What will make it better other than showing it on the pitch? And he puts question mark. And I'm like, stop there. You just answered your own question. You're saying that you don't really, that's why I've been quiet, but then you're still coming to the forefront to kind of justify yourself and clarify yourself. It goes on to read, we've all been disappointed with recent performances, and we've been as disappointed with the news coverage questioning our commitment to not only the manager and the coaching staff, but the club. I have endless respect for both, and I'm looking forward to bettering my game under the staff at Manchester United. I'm not sulking. So that's a direct, that's direct answering the criticism when people are saying, he's sulking about the pitch, he doesn't care, his commitment's not there. He's directly answering that. I'm not unhappy. Am I disappointed in some of my recent performances? Of course I am. I'm my own biggest critic. It's been a tough start, but I'm determined to prove my worth, my dedication, and my desire to be here should never be in question. I love this club. Again, strong word from Rashi. listen, we support Rashi. He's one of our own. We want him to turn it around. He's in a really bad moment of form. Proper bad. Really, really bad. And he knows that. And we know that. But it just... it just comes across a little bit cringe. I don't know. Like, it just feels forced. And especially when at the start of it, he's saying, what more can I do than show you on the pitch? Exactly. You don't need to be doing it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Super chat. I read that super chat here. Maureen says, you can see who was triggered by the media question their commitment. Who really cares? I think Rashford and Fred were genuine. Fair enough. Fair play. And Double AL says, when I look at Premier League captains, I want a captain I want to listen to when they conduct themselves. Jordan Henderson speaks. Liverpool fans, listen. Harry speaks. We could not give a crap. This is what happens when you overpay players. No more incentives, says the dancing clown. And PR Spin FC is the perfect answer, but don't do anything on the pitch, says Imran Omar. And there was another one I wanted to read there. It feels forced, to be honest, says H7. It does sound like there's a divide. Exactly. It sounds like when some players come out and say things and other players don't, it does come across a little bit like that. It comes across a little bit division-y. It does. But look, the players obviously want to change it around. We know that it's going to be a tough game against Villa. They got to get it done. Ralph spoke about it in the press conference saying that it's not like going to be the game against Young Boys where we made a load of changes. You're damn right it won't be. Let's face it. The Champions League is going to be almost impossible to win. Let's just face it with where we're at. We're a million miles off winning at the best competition in Europe. Just being honest, not saying we can't get past Atletico Madrid. Even that's going to be very, very tough. And things can change by the time we play them. But right now, we're 1,000 miles off winning the Champions League, if we're being honest, unless something miraculous happens. Never going to win the Premier League. It's a scrap for top four. The FA Cup is the only cup we can realistically have a chance of winning. And that's going to be difficult against a rejuvenated Aston Villa side who've just, got Coutinho, looking at other players. They're on a bounce. I'm not saying Coutinho's going to play, probably won't, but they're on a bounce. Do you know what I mean? They haven't got a game until the next game against us, which is a week later, so they're going to go strong too. Steven Gerrard's not going to field a weakened side. I can't see that happening. He wants to win. So, yeah, we've got to go big against Aston Villa. And we have to see a reaction. If we come out of the Aston Villa game with a strong win, we'll all be saying, well done. That's what we want to see more. We won't get carried away because I'll tell you what, I wouldn't say where it really matters because that's a bit that's a bit unfair because you can only beat what's in front of you, especially if it's a real strong Villa team. But the game in a week's time at Villa Park, where Coutinho probably will make his debut with a resurgent Aston Villa all bouncing, that's going to be a big test, a really, really big test. And if they win that, that's when, if they can win both these games this week, right? I think that would be a statement, especially if they can win them well. Especially if we can win them well. But the way we've been playing, it's like we fear these two games. We're going into these games shitting ourselves. Could get dumped out the FA Cup in the first round. Who wants that? Just like the Carabao Cup. It'd be an absolute disaster to go out in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup in the first round. Didn't even get a decent cup run. Do you know what I mean? That would be really bad. I don't want to see that. Top six would be a blessing at this point, says Steph. And Highflex, first time watching United View, live from Minnesota. Big up to United View, says Usman. Big up to you, man. First time watching. Smash a like on the video if you haven't done already. James Dixon says, we need a cup run. Slightly regretting backing us for the Champions League, but we desperately need to progress tomorrow. See you at Old Trafford tomorrow night. And Smith says, I believe there is a Maguire gang, Ronaldo gang, and Rashford gang in the dressing room. You wouldn't, I don't know, mate, with the division that's been going on. You can only imagine what it looks like in there. Abub says, I haven't seen Abub for a while in the chat, big up to you. Says the players will get a reality check when they move away from United and realise that they had it good there. There's been a lot of people saying that they just got it comfy. They just got it comfy. Rotom says, Flex, any news regarding our fullbacks for the cup? Not in terms of who's going to start. But apart from the obvious casualties, which is obviously Paul Pogba, he's got a pretty much strong squad to choose from. A lot of people asking for Phil Jones to start tomorrow. What are you lot saying? Put yes or no quickly in the comments. I want to see that before we move on to the next topic. Phil Jones to start. Are you having that? I do want to see that. You know, look, he's played well. I mean, obviously Maguire's. I think Ralph said he suffered a setback, but then we've seen him in training since that. I would start him again. I would start him again, but then again, Lindelof's back in, and you're not gonna bench Varane, are you? You want to keep him playing. So I suppose you're gonna go with Lindelof and Varane really, and then if Maguire's not fit, actually, yeah, Phil Jones is not gonna play. Simon says I don't care. Kritesh says yeah, go on Phil. Hate to say it, but I feel like Arsenal. That says Adal. Tamrat says yes. Dara says no. No. Lindelof back, says United Fan TV. Yeah, okay. It's kind of, a lot of people do want Phil Jones to play though, but Varane and Lindelof, it should be. But I bet it won't be. I bet, especially because Maguire's been front and centre as the captain, talking up the things. I'm going to walk straight back in after his hip injury or whatever it was. And he'll probably play with Varane. But I would put Lindelof straight. Lindelof's been our best defender this year, without a doubt. He's been consistent in a crap. You know, don't get me wrong. He's been part of the shit. I'm not saying he's been absolutely brilliant, but he's been consistent. Like I said before, Lindelof is the sort of player that just gives you goes under the radar. Gives you consistent sevens, solid sevens, just under the radar sevens, but you don't even really clock man's played a seven because he just takes care of things. Someone said it was their birthday there. Oh yeah, big up Simon. I'm 41 today. Big up Flex. Happy birthday to you. Everyone wish Simon happy birthday in the community. Big up to you. He has earned a start, says Kelvin. Exactly, I agree. And Maguire got a free card to play. And it's sad. We have better form players than him, says Partyfoot. 100% agree. His performances earning him a start, says Kelvin. And the Dancing Clown says, will Donny start on the bench? Or start on the bench? Yeah, exactly. It's going to be McTominay and Fred settings. Fred's missed the last couple of games, hasn't he? He ain't started. And I think he's back in for this one. Absolutely think he's back in for this one. I can't see him not starting this game. I think he should start as well. It's not like when he hasn't started, we've been good. Do you know what I mean? We've been poor, really, really poor. Interesting about the Martial thing as well. A little bit about that. It's gone cold. Sort of saying that Sevilla can't afford to pay his wages, and his loan fee. Listen, we got players on huge wages who ain't pulling their weight. It's always a common theme at Man United of how we offload players who can afford to give them these big contracts because we put them on huge and can afford to pay them loads. I do think it'll be an issue if we don't shift Martial. Like I said, if he doesn't get his move, I don't think you reignite a Martial in that mindset. Someone who's gonna, by the end of the transfer window, if he doesn't get his move, wouldn't have been in around the first team squad. Yeah, be training, not involved on match days. Not in Ranitz's plans. Probably hasn't planned for him to play. Then all of a sudden he's there. You can go down that road of we pay him, he's our player. So until the summer, mate, you're ours. So you better put a shift in. I agree with that. But in terms of, come on, guys, we know Martial. A Martial that wants to leave, a Martial that's not confident, a Martial that has expressed why he wants to leave because he's not getting enough game time. He's then going to not get enough game time again. Are you going to get a fully focused Martial ready to prove a point just until the end of the season? No chance. It'd be more detrimental to keep him. Honestly, I think he needs to get a loan at any cost. Now he's publicly come out and done that and said what he said, which I don't regret. I don't mind him saying it, but he needs to get a move. Dara says, Flex, would you take Ruben Neves? We need creativity from deep. McTominay, Magic and McTominay, Matic and McTominay are too static and not good enough. Would I take Ruben Neves? Well, this is at the time of when we was talking about it. I said I'd only take him because he's better on the ball than McTominay and better on the ball than Fred. But I don't know if he's exactly what we need. Call me barking mad. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, but I don't think he's exactly the type of midfielder that we need. Yeah, he is good on the ball, but with this current squad, I said a lot of his game gets masked by how Wolves play. 5 at the back. Him and Moutinho are very protected and they can do their thing because they are good on the ball. Man United's different level, man. We need and Ralph as well. He, with how he wants to play, he needs centre mids that can get about the pitch, which is why he's probably gone for McTominay and Fred as well. So I don't know, man. I I'm not sold on that. I think if we got Ruben Neves for 50 million, I think we bring him into this team and he doesn't have the impact on games that we think he would. Personally, I just feel like his playing style maybe isn't suited. Yeah, it'll be a couple of games where his service is good, his distribution, he gets on it. Do you know what I mean? But the way we play, with not much control over games, I don't see Ruben Neves dictating the pace of the game. I don't think he's he's a good player. I do like him. I just don't think he's a good fit. I honestly don't think he's a good fit personally, especially for 50 million as well. I think we need that combative, energetic, box-to-box midfielder. And I don't think Ruben Neves is that. Back on to Mauricio Pochettino, there was some... it's Le Parisien, big outlet over there, obviously, in Paris. And they've claimed that Man United want Pochettino, and Pochettino wants United. It's almost done. He is United's priority, and he has given his agreement to Man United. Look, I don't know. What are you guys saying about Poch? I mean, look, I don't hate Poch. I think there's this. I think if we break it down, there's 100% pros and cons with Poch, right? I'm all for that. I'm not one of these blinkered fans who's just like, yeah, Poch is amazing. He's this, that, and the other, and don't even think about the cons. But I'm also not one of these fans that just completely write him off. I think there's this kind of narrative that Poch is rubbish. Yeah, because he hasn't won anything, which he's going to win this year. He's going to win Liga, yeah? A lot of people say it there, Poch ain't good enough. I don't want Poch, says Troy. Don't want Poch, says T. See, a lot of people, I think the general consensus, a lot of people don't want Poch. Here's my thing on it, though, yeah? Poch is old news. Rather have Ten Hag, says Kristen. The Poch thing is like, what he done at Tottenham was wicked. He had no right really doing that at Tottenham. Yes, he didn't win anything, but Tottenham's a club historically don't win anything. Jose went to Tottenham, didn't win nothing, and he won something at Man United. It doesn't always work out like that. I think you curse yourself when you go to PSG. Any manager that goes to PSG right now in this time, I don't think it really does anything for your CV. I really don't. I think the way they spend, the way that their club's set up, the type of players that they have, you can go there and win, and people will say, "So what?" And you go there and lose, and people say you couldn't even win with that team. Yeah, I think the PSG job is a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Poch is gonna win the league this year. People would just say, "Oh, but so what? He should. He's got Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. He should win it." But then the Ten Hag thing, he plays good football. You know, he's exciting. I would definitely take him. I like him. And he would probably just shade it for me over Poch. But the outrage towards Poch, I just don't get. I don't get. Like, he's got things over Ten Hag that Ten Hag doesn't have, where Poch knows the league. Poch knows this league inside out. He done well in this league with an average Tottenham side and turned them into a top 4 team. Ten Hag would have to come here again, like I spoke with the guys at We Are Ajax TV. I think apologies if I've got the name wrong. They said if Ten Hag comes, he's not bringing that Ajax structure. He's not bringing that Ajax way of working. He's not bringing or having access to that pool of players and that continual kind of cycle of players that are picked in a certain way, like they are at Ajax. He's not getting that at Man United. Look at how we're run. So I don't know. I think the Ten Hag thing is, a situation where I like him. Either or for me. I wouldn't be outraged if we got Poch, put it that way. And Switank says, well, you also said you wanted Brendan Rodgers. Yeah, and everyone laughed at me then, and people could probably say, see now, look at them, they're shit now. Look at Leicester. Yeah, maybe I was wrong on that. That's my opinion. But I do feel like when I was saying that, I just feel like Brendan Rodgers has got a lot of good traits, and sometimes it can go stale somewhere, and sometimes people can surprise you. I think we're in a position where and I think we'll all agree on this, there is no kind of dead certs. There's no dead certs managers out there. Yeah, you think of the top managers in Pep, Klopp, Tuchel, Conte. Yeah, let's just say that they're the 4 best. Pep, Klopp, Tuchel and Conte, yeah. Then out of that, yeah, Zidane not going to come. Jose's finished now. Then you're looking at the next batch, which is going to be Simeone, probably not the right fit for Man United, I think. Nagelsmann sorted at Bayern Munich. You know, there's a few out there, but what I'm saying is we're in this era where there's nothing guaranteed. You have to take a chance. You have to take a chance. So I'm not really fussed out of Ten Hag and Poch. If we appointed Poch, I wouldn't be like, what have we done? There's no plan. It's another shocking decision. At the end of the day, until a big clear out happens, until a big culture shock comes in where the whole coaching staff changes with a whole new manager and we restructure and get a lot of players out who we think are good or not that good, I don't think anything changes. Doesn't matter who the manager is. Abel says, I don't like the underdog mentality that the players have. That's why no one fears us. We approach games as if we are lacking. I don't want Poch here as well. See, Abel, big up for the super chat. A lot of people don't want Poch, man. I think it's a big minority of the people that do. I would say it's probably like 80-20, isn't it? Probably about only 20% people would want Poch. They would, innit? Tuchel was on the same level as Poch before he won the Champions League at Chelsea, says Imran. Exactly, look at Tuchel. It wasn't until he won the Champions League at Chelsea he really propelled himself. What was it? A couple of failed finals with in the Champions League with PSG. But it doesn't put you on that pedestal. Emery did well there. Goes to Arsenal, you know, gets a decent name for himself. Obviously, he's done well. Sevilla as well with all of the Europa Leagues. But it just shows you, innit? Like PSG is that damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I think that Pochettino is not that sort of man. That job don't suit him. That job don't suit him. I think he needs a crop of young players. He needs to have a little bit of autonomy over the squad and put his imprint on it. I think he's dictated to a lot at PSG. I think we get a different Pochettino back at Man United. And if he hadn't been linked to us for so long, where we feel like he's like an old toy, where he's like his old news, I think we would see it as quite refreshing. Personally, that's how I see it. You know what I mean? Guys, smash a like on the video before I leave. Thank you for watching. We've got the full view later on tonight as well. We'll have the preview for the Villa game coming up tomorrow with a certain somebody. Hope you guys are going to enjoy that. So yeah, have a good Sunday, guys. See you later on this evening. Everyone keep safe, keep well. See you again later on. Peace.